Hey guys, so I know it's been a while since I made a video, but I had some recommendations to try and make some more beginner friendly videos. This is going to be like the most basic one I'll probably ever make because I'm simply just going to go through. It's a little impromptu, but I'm just going to go through all the main aspects of the game. So if anyone who, I mean, I've noticed this recently. I've been starting to play other idle games on the side, and sometimes I just like have I'm so like TapTap is so natural to me now because I've been playing it for so long. It's just like, okay, obviously this is for this, and inside of this menu, inside of this tab, this is where you would do that. But for people who are brand new, maybe that doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes, and especially with all the new updates coming out, it can kind of be confusing for a brand new player. So this video is if you've only been playing for a few days, or if you're looking about getting into the game, this is for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start by talking about just the general goal of the game, and that that is kind of in the game, but it's called TapTap Heroes, in the name of the game. But it's an idle game in which you're building a team of heroes, and through the course of tapping or idling on the main screen here on the battle screen, um, you'll fill up a chest, and this chest it will about 4 hours every day. I'm not going to get into too many specifics, but hours every day or so after a certain amount of tapping, it'll collect resources. Even if you don't tap, it'll still collect resources while you're offline for a maximum of 8 hours. So if you're really into the game, you want to make sure that you're logging in every 8 hours to collect your resources, because that's how much it'll store. And these resources are gold. I'll go ahead and show you guys on the screen here. The resources that you'll collect by idling are gold in the top right, like you'll see here, and then purple elixir, or purple soul, sorry. There are other things as you go up the maps. You'll collect more resources. So as you continue to idle and build your team, you'll be able to go through the map. And the map, if you click this little map icon here, you'll notice you'll start at level 1 on normal, and every time you defeat a boss after idling for a certain amount of waves, you'll be able to move on to the next stage. And in the stage info will tell you how much you collect over time while you idle there and what kind of loot you have. It's important to remember, like early on you'll see, okay, your loot options are 3-star shards, 2-star gray equipment, and yellow souls. But you'll notice that once you get to, let's just use this as an example here, you'll move up to orange artifacts and gear and things like that. This doesn't mean you can no longer get, say, purple gear or purple artifacts or like lower tier. You can still gather lower tier things at the higher levels. The only exception is if a level says that you can get unbound or bound shards like this, that you do not get the option for unbound shards, which I'll talk about later, but that makes a difference for artifact options. Okay, so that's the base. That's like the main idle part of the game, is that you're tapping every day, you're collecting resources, and then I'm going to talk about what you use these resources for. So heroes, and you'll notice that the heroes are in the backpack are the ones that you own. That's in the bottom left of your tab here, and in the backpack you'll have 6 different factions where you can sort your heroes, and these heroes can be leveled by let's use a low level one as an example. These heroes can be leveled using gold and purple souls. So purple souls and gold are easily acquired through idling and events, but once you reach like level 30 for this hero, like I'll go ahead and level this guy up, the villager, you'll be able to promote him to a new rank. At new ranks, they usually unlock new skills and a new kind of ceiling that they can hit, which would be, it tells you right here it's going to be 40, and that at 40 you can use gold and yellow souls again to move up to 50, and then all the way up until you get to 100 for a 5-star hero. Because 5 stars is usually what we're going to talk about. Anything below 5 stars is usually just used to feed into a 5-star hero. and eventually a 5-star will feed into a 6-star, and we'll talk about that when we get to creation bag. But let's use a 5-star hero as an example, because it helps visualize the rank up. So like I said, once you hit 30 and you're able to rank up, it says at tier 3, that means after you've ranked up 3 times that you'll unlock his next skill. So in TapTap Heroes, all the heroes have skills, up to a maximum of 4 skills. 1 skill is an active, and the 3 skills after that, or in this case 2, but let's use a hero that has multiple here, are passives, and these are unlocked as you rank them up. For a 5-star hero, it can go to level 100. Anyway, when you battle, let me give you an example of a battle real quick. This is going to be a super fast rundown. So if things seem rushed, it's because there's a lot to cover for the game, right? So in a battle, you'll notice that heroes gain energy, and as they gain energy, this yellow bar will fill up, and once it reaches max, it's like a turn-based game. So one person goes, then the next, and the next, and the next, based on speed. I'll talk about the stats after this, but once they reach max energy, they'll cast a skill. Passives are persistent throughout the fight without counting the active skill, but that's what I wanted to mention about the active, is that energy is required. So let's go back to the heroes. So every hero has the same 4 stats here, and you can expand that with this information button. It talks, and I'll cover these really quick. HP is obvious; it's the health of a hero. Defense is like armor; it basically mitigates a certain amount of damage. Attack is a stat that's used in your active skills. You'll notice here, Tesla's skill is deals damage 122% of attack. So if you wanted to know how much damage Tesla would do to 4 random enemies, you would just take 122% of his current attack. In the battle, things might change because of certain passive boosts or effects or familiars and things like that, which I'll talk about later. But that's basically how you can go ahead and read through characters' abilities and kind of gauge how strong they are based on this percentage and their attack value. Let's go on to the next one. Speed is one of the most important stats for PvP. Speed really just decides what order, so it's priority. The heroes with the higher speed will always attack first. Then we have defense break, which is what it sounds like. Whatever defense break number you have here will ignore the defense of the enemy hero they're hitting by that much. Skill damage increases your active skill for a certain percentage. In this case, he has a 40% skill damage buff from one of his skills. And then hit rate is the opposite of dodge, which you'll see as the next one. Dodge is here and hit rate is here. So dodge is really valuable in the game because when a hero dodges, when a hero dodges an attack, the hero that attacks them does not get energy for that attack. Like I was showing you earlier, it's turn-based, so whenever a hero attacks, they gain energy, but if that attack misses, they no longer do. So hit rate is the counter to that. It just makes it more likely for you to make sure the hit goes off and you get your energy. And crit rate is exactly what it sounds like, your chance to do extra damage. Crit damage is after 200% of a crit, you can increase that crit damage higher through the crit damage stat. True damage ignores defense completely. It's just like, say Tesla was going to do 3,000 damage. Whatever percentage you have true damage is just going to take that exact number of what it was going to do and add that much percentage to your attack. Reduced damage is the same thing, but the opposite. It just, no matter what, it'll reduce, like, say, 20% of whatever damage you would have taken. And control resist is the last stat, and very few heroes have this, but control resist is the chance you have to resist CC. So CC is called crowd control. These are things like stuns, petrifies, freeze, silence, things like that. Alright, so now that we covered heroes and hero stats, let's go ahead and move on to the castle. So the castle is like, it looks like a tower or a pillar, and each one is an option for doing something to increase the stats of your hero or to use your heroes to gain resources. So we'll start at the bottom, and this is the Blacksmith. So every hero has the option to equip equipment or armor. Things like 4 slots for a weapon, an armor, an accessory, and a helmet. And each of these gives a stat bonus. So the King's Gold helmet, the purple 1-star, gives 446 HP. But if you combine it with the other King's Gold accessory, armor, and weapon, you'll notice that you'll get a buff for however many of that set you have. So it's always ideal to have 4 of the same set. You say you have like a red 1-star weapon, but you only have a purple 4-star chest piece. It's usually worth dropping down your red 1-star and just using a purple 4-star so that you get the set bonus. It's almost always better that way. So let's go ahead and move on to Hero's Chest. Hero's Chest is the summoning aspect of the game. If you've ever played a gacha game, this is one of the 2 main areas that you can summon heroes and just hope for something good. We have 4 different types here, and I'll start from the bottom. So the bottom consists of a friendship summon. Friendship summons are cost hearts, which hearts can be obtained by going to the menu, going to your friends list, and basically adding friends through the find function, or if someone requests you to be your friend, you can add them. And then every day you can claim and send a maximum of 30 hearts. This is because you can only have 30 people on your friends list. There's no way to increase that. So 30 hearts sent and 30 hearts received every day. You can use those to then summon in the hero chest, and these usually provide like 2 stars to 4 stars are the most common. Usually it's like a 2-star. Let's go ahead and do an example. See if I get, a 3-star. So that's pretty common. Probably you can actually look at the percentages. There's only 1% chance to get a 5-star, but you're looking at most likely a 3-star and 2-star. And then there's common summons. Common summons are just retrieved through Tavern. There's lots of different ways, but these keys are usually useless. There's a very low chance. You'll see it's a 0.2% chance, way less than a friendship summon to get a 5-star. And these almost always just give a 1-star hero. Yeah. And so these are usually a waste unless you're really, really lucky. And then you have Grand Summon. So you'll notice in Grand Summon that during the event, which I'll explain events after this, but events happen weekly in TapTap Heroes, and right now we're in a Grand Summon event, which gives you rewards for doing Grand Summons. Also, it doubles the rate for them. So you'll notice during the event, 5 stars go from a 2 to a 4%, and like I was saying earlier, 5 stars are really important. It's basically how you build up your teams. It all starts at a 5-star. So you're going to notice that golden keys are really expensive. If you were to buy them in the shop, they're for 150 gems. But if you were to try to buy them straight from here, like if you had no gems, I have some so you won't be able to see, they cost 220 gems a piece. So that's really expensive. And they usually give a 3-star. So not great value, but worth it because of the event, which I'll show you in a little bit. And then there's Up Summon. Up Summon is the same as Grand Summon. The only thing is there's an increased chance to get the hero showed in the picture. And this rotates every 3 days, I believe. Lastly, on the hero chest page, probably the most important thing is you'll see a energy summon. And you'll notice I have 1156 energy out of 1000. Once you reach 1000 energy, you can click this button and you can summon a 5-star hero. It's guaranteed to be a rare hero, but the way TapTap works right now is the rare hero doesn't necessarily mean one that you should be using, so that's kind of unfortunate. But it can give you really good heroes. It's probably your best chance at getting good heroes via this tab here. So you're wondering how to get energy. So doing any summons gives you energy, and the amount of energy you'll get per summon is based on how many stars the hero had that you summoned. So I was at 1156. I just summoned a 2-star hero. I should be at, well, that didn't make sense. Was I 1157? It goes up a certain amount. So I may be wrong about that. I always assumed it had to do with stars, but that was kind of odd. Let me try that again. Alright, 2-star. I guess 2... Okay, and the 2 stars give me 1. I guess I was wrong about that, but... Well, now you know. It's just kind of random, I guess. So... Before I move on to altar and everything else, I should have gone ahead and talked about events. So the events tab can be found right here in the gift box. So first thing you'll notice on the gift box is every event comes with a new way to spend money. And right now it's key event or summon event, so it gives you these options to do grand summons. That's what these red keys are. Then there's a hero event, and I'm not going to talk about each event because as you play you'll see them and it explains what they do already. But these events are every week and they can be completed several times. So I really recommend that if you're a new player and you see these events, these are the best ways to get good heroes, unless you're very lucky. So be looking at them, be saving for them, and if you're going to be spending, then obviously spend during an event that gives a really good hero. If you're wondering what good heroes are, then you can check the tier list or ask me on stream or check out my other videos. Alright, so now that we covered events, I should go ahead and cover... This is called Wonder Events tab, but really these are just like your daily login bonuses, which every month will refresh to a new set of heroes, a 5-star hero. So you'll notice after a whole month you'll get one 5-star, which is nice. And then your options to pay for a monthly and a mini card. These are usually pretty good value. If you're really interested in spending and you are new to the game, after you watch this video, go check out my what should you spend on video if you do want to spend money. So let's go ahead and keep moving up. We're on altar now. So in the altar, you have the option to basically decompose, or I've seen tear apart, destroy. I don't know what you want to call it, but you can destroy your heroes to get resources. So you'll notice if I just break down, you'll notice I'll get some yellow souls and purple souls, which I can use to then upgrade the heroes that I do want to use. The higher up you go, the different types of resources you get. So at 3-star, you'll notice you start to receive red soul stones here. And those soul stones can then be used to buy things in the shop, specifically heroes. And these are rare heroes, so you'll notice that after a while, even if you're really unlucky, you'll be able to get some rare heroes using by getting rid of your bad ones. I do not recommend, if you're just starting out playing, do not just go through and delete all your 3-star heroes just because you're not using it. And I'll show you why in a second. Because I'm going to skip the shop. We're going to go to Creation Bag. So the Creation Bag is how you start to move heroes from 4-star to 5-star and then from 5-star to 6-star. So if you want to make a 5-star hero by basically playing the game and getting shards, then you can do that via 4-star shards and 4-star heroes. And this is really important because most of the time you won't be lucky enough to pull a 5-star that you need, and especially not just extra fodder. What we call fodder is basically heroes that are used to feed into stronger heroes that you want to use on your team. So let's take Battle Fury as an example. So Battle Fury is a hero that we consider fodder because he cannot be ranked up very high, but a 4-star Battle Fury can be upgraded to 5-star. So to do that, you'll need one copy of a 4-star Battle Fury. He's only available at 4-star, by the way. And then 3 more copies. And then a specific 4-star hero. Or sorry, 3-star hero, I misspoke. And then 4 random same faction 4-stars. Then you would get one copy of a 5-star Battle Fury. And if you go to the Advanced tab, you'll be able to then use that, say, 5-star Battle Fury to create like a King Lionheart 6-star. So a 6-star King Lionheart requires 2 5-star King Lionhearts, 1 5-star Battle Fury, and then 3 random Alliance 5-stars. Once you create a 6-star of any hero, the level cap increases and their skill also becomes better. If you want to look at the skill changes and how heroes get stronger, I recommend going to the gallery and checking them out. Luckily, they've added 4-star stats and skills up to 5-star and then 6-star and then 10-star in the gallery. So 10-star is the final level or star you can get to, and you'll notice that the level cap increases to 250. You'll also notice that 10-star, the active skill goes to level 2, so these skills upgrade as well as you star the hero up. And I won't keep going there. But Creation Bag, very important to look at when you're first starting to play, trying to figure out what heroes you have and what you need to make them stronger. So let's move on to Fortune Wheel. So Fortune Wheel is in your daily quest, which I'll go ahead and look at now. You'll notice that you have a daily quest to, where is it? Spin the Fortune Wheel twice. And Fortune Wheel just gives you options for resources and a rare chance at a 5-star. Most of these 5-stars are fodder. And a lot of time you'll end up just getting gold, rune dust, or purple, and that's good because honestly those are the best resources here. You almost always need rune dust, and purple will run low very soon. You have the option to do one at a time, or I think if you're a certain VIP level or I'm not sure what the level is. I'll have to ask somebody. I'll put it in the comments. But at a certain level, you'll be able to spend 8 tokens for a 10 spin, which is much better value, right? Also in this tab, you'll notice that there's a shop. Every time you do a spin, you get a certain amount of luck coins, and these luck coins can be used to buy gears or equipment and heroes. Most of these are fodder as well. And then there's another tab for Advanced Wheel. Advanced Wheel tokens are awarded through events and Team Marina, and these are pretty good value. You'll notice that you can refresh this. I think it's every 3 hours you can refresh these. But it will automatically refresh every 24 hours. And these give much better rewards. A lot more gold, some Miracle Eyes, which are really great, a really good resource, and a 5-star hero. And it's a higher chance to get that as well. I guess it's 1%, but it feels pretty good because you can easily get up to 100 advanced wheels over a couple months of playing. And these heroes are usually really good. Definitely don't spend gems to reroll, but definitely refresh your shop to find one of the best heroes in here because there are some good ones. So let's move to Arena. Arena has your Brave League. Brave is like everyone on your current server, and you'll notice that there's a ranking all the way to the top 50. Every time you do an arena battle, let's do this for example, you'll get to see the enemy team before you fight. You'll see what level their familiar are, and then you'll get it'll be a random reward, but you'll get a reward for fighting them. So let's go ahead and do that. So you'll get to choose what heroes you want to use and put them in a formation. The formation is very important, right? The front left one will always be your tank, the person taking the auto attack damages. And then, real quick strategy, but the third slot is usually the safest, so you want to put your damage dealers up here. And other than that, like you have to read the skills to understand what kind of skills and what kind of heroes hit the front line and the back line, so you can arrange your team in the best order. So go ahead and hit battle. Eventually, you'll unlock a ×2 speed. It's also important to notice in the advantage tab here that faction advantage increases damage by 30%. So Horde does 30% and accuracy by 15%. Horde does 30% more damage to... Well, I'll need to do that again so I can show you guys. Hopefully slower this time. Horde does extra damage to Elf. Elf does extra damage to Undead. Undead does extra damage to Alliance, and Alliance does extra damage to Horde. But Heaven and Hell do extra damage to each other, but they're not part of this circle here, so they just do normal damage and receive normal damage over here. So that's really important to notice. That's why building a full one-faction team isn't that helpful. You also have a skip function you'll be able to unlock later as well, and it'll just give you your rewards instantly. You'll get a reward whether you win or lose. So let's go ahead and take a reward, and then you have the option to look at the data. This is really important if you want to start understanding how to make your team better. You can look and see what kind of damage your heroes dealt, and also how much healing your heroes did. Really good to be looking at this almost every fight that you're trying to understand what happened. Okay, so that's how battling works, and you'll notice that to battle you have to use arena tokens, which you gather from your daily quests, events. There's several ways to buy them, and I'm going to go back to the shop later. There's also a record of the last fights that happened against you. So if you ever want to watch other people how they how the fights went, you can do that. It's the same way as if you were fighting them. And also you can share them to the world chat or your guild chat. This is where you set your defense. This is can also be done up here on your character menu, which I'll show later. But your arena defense, very important to set your strongest one. You'll notice that every every person up to basically everybody will get a reward at the end of a day, and this your daily reward is gems and rune dust. But every season, which I believe is like every 2 weeks, you'll get a like a season end reward. And basically, you just want to place as high as you can right before the season ends. So there's a timer to help you out there. And this one gives you rune dust, gems, and dog food, which is for your familiar. And I'll cover familiar later. Let's move on to Legion. Legion is done on Thursdays all the till Sunday nights, and it's so basically 3 or 4 days where you're going to try and fight not just people in your server but in your cluster. A cluster is a group of servers that we well, I can't really give you a number, but you'll be able to tell if you look at the rankings or once you get in there. But you'll notice that servers are grouped up by like groups of 8, and those are called a cluster, and those people will be competing against each other in the Legion. And Legion gives really good rewards. You'll notice for ranking up in Legion, you're going to receive these Legion shields, and these shields can be used to bot resources. I always recommend buying the Miracle Eyes. They're really good. So you always want to placing high in Legion is more important than placing high in either of the other two. Let's go ahead and move to Team Marina. So Team Marina is done the other time of the week, I think Monday through Thursday. So basically when Legion is not happening. And in Team Marina, one person will create their own team, and then they will recruit 2 other players to join their team. So then the team will have 3 formations that they'll use to attack, and a defensive formation, and defend against other teams. And you'll notice that the rewards for Team Marinas are pretty good. You get an avatar frame, some gems. I think the rewards are pretty decent. And these advanced wheel tokens, or super wheel tokens is what they're called, to spin in the advanced wheel, are very useful. So your screen will be different if you're the leader. Only the leader can attack in Team Marina. But you'll notice there's also a ranking here, and you'll notice that the different servers, it's the same as Legion, where you're with your cluster, not just your server. Same thing, you can look at your record of battles. Okay, so the way Team Arena works is it doesn't use arena tokens like Brave and Legion does. It uses a resource that accumulates 1 battle every 3 hours, and it maxes out at 12. So just make sure that you don't stay at the max, because you want to get as many points as you can. Finally, we finished Arena. So now let's talk about Den of Secrets. Den of Secrets is a tower that you climb. You basically battle I can't show you because I'm at the end of it. But you battle a PvE, and then if you beat it, you get rewards. And most of the time, the rewards you're looking at are yellow. This is the main source of getting yellow souls, because yellow souls are required to go from that gap, like 30 to 40, 40 to 50, to reach that new cap. And basically, if you lose one of these fights, you'll consume a turtle shell. If you want to buy more turtle shells or tortoise shells, then you can pay 5 gems for them. It's really cheap. Usually, they regen in like 3 hours, same as the Team Arena thing. So usually just wait it out. You'll hit a part where you're stuck. So if you do get stuck, there's actually an option to watch someone else's battle. It's not usually very helpful, but maybe you can see what they did and try to replicate that. So let's move up to Miracle Tree. Miracle Tree is the best way to get heroes. Basically, you'll like Legion, I showed you was one way to get Miracle Eyes, but you'll consume Miracle Eyes to summon, or get a chance to summon a hero. And I'm just going to show you guys this page real quick. Take a look at it. So outside of the Heaven and Hell faction, you have a 9% chance to get hero Fragments. Fragments are those shards. Once you get 50 shards for a 5-star, you can summon a random 5-star hero. 4-star is only 30 shards. I'll show you that in a little bit. And then there's like a 5-star or a 4-star hero fragment chance, and a 4-star fragment. So the 5-star, this is like you have a 9% chance to get a 5-star. Then you have a 5% or a 24% chance just to get the fragments to it, and it's like 7 to 12 usually. Then you have a 4 or 7% chance. Wait, this isn't right. What am I saying? Sorry, let me double check this. I don't know why they did it this way, where it's like not in ordered. Basically, getting the hero is a lower chance than getting the shards. Look at this, try and understand it. But basically, you have a small chance to get a hero, and you have a more likely to get shards. But the heroes, it helps because you can narrow down your heroes by faction that you're looking for. So if you want a certain hero, you pull for that faction. And like I said, you're supposed to have a higher chance to get a 5-star hero in the non-Heaven and Hell. You'll notice that Heaven and Hell are combined, so it's even less likely that you get the specific one you want. You have the option to pull 1 or 10 at a time. When you pull them, you'll also receive convert, the convert option, which is miracle pieces up here. At 100 miracle pieces, you can convert a hero from one to another of the same faction. It'll be completely random. And you can also do it for 4 stars, but I don't recommend it. It does cost less, though. It only costs 20. I recommend always doing 5 stars if you can. It's a good way to try and get rid of your bad heroes, but most of the time, it's still, you have to get lucky. So let's move up to Tavern. Tavern is a list of like quests that you can complete every day. Notice that I get 10 a day, but as long as I'm running the quest, it doesn't reach my cap, so I'll get another 10 at the daily reset. This happens daily. So after you complete a quest, you can hit finish. It'll give you that resource for what the quest was, and I'll use this book. You have these books that'll let you add more quests out. Like if you don't want to wait for the daily refresh, you can just add more. You can do that. You'll see the option I'll dispatch, and then I have a requirement of using a 3-star hero and a cleric. And other than that, I can just fill it in with whatever. There's a quick option, which went ahead and added a cleric for me. He's way past 3-star, but it met their criteria, so it used it. You notice it takes 4 hours to complete. You can use gems to complete it quicker. I don't recommend that. You can also watch ads to complete it quicker. So, say you don't like this one. You can spend 10 gems to re-roll this and hopefully go get a better quest. And more than likely, the like 1 stars are most common, all the way up to 7 stars are very rare. But you're going to want to refresh because you need 7 and 6 stars to complete quests, or events, sorry. So I'll refresh it. I got another 3-star. It really wasn't worth it, but wanted to do it for the video. Okay, so that's Tavern. And I probably missed something for Tavern, but it's pretty simple to figure out. There is an event for it, so just giving you guys a heads up. Then you have Expedition, which is every other day you can do Expedition, and I can't show it to you now because we don't have it, but you basically have 15 stages. Every 3 stages you'll get a buff, and that buff is going to help your team. And so the stages you're fighting, it's PvP in a sense that you're fighting enemy teams, but they're like kind of random. Like you're just going to find a random enemy team. If you beat it, you move on to the next stage. If you can clear all 15 stages, you'll get a reward. You'll get a lot of these feathers is what they're called, but every 3 stages you complete, you'll also get a feather reward. And it's kind of hard to complete all 15, but clerics are really strong in here, and you'll notice that the third, like the 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 are always the hardest fights, but because you get a buff after you beat them, it helps you like move up higher. You'll be able to spend those feathers in the shop. I'll go over the shops later. Oh, the thing with Expedition I should have mentioned is when your hero takes damage, they keep that damage, and their energy too. So you have to actually sustain to complete it because you don't heal up after every battle like normal. So let's talk about Planet Trial. Planet Trial is like, when Expedition I said is every 2 days, the day that isn't Expedition is Planet Trial. And you'll unlock this, I think, at level 72. But Planet Trial is just PvE matches, and these PvE matches go all the way up to 120, and they're very difficult, and they limit a faction. So this basically means you can, in today's Planet Trial, you cannot use any undead or elf heroes. And you'll notice every day is a different ranking. These are different planet trials, so it'll rotate every other day a different planet trial and limiting different factions. And at every 5 stages, you'll receive a new shop or item that'll open up in the shop, and this will be random every single time. You notice though that I'll mention this. Once you get to the 13th shop, the value gets better. Before 13, the value's pretty bad. I don't recommend buying anything for gems, but you can find good deals here, especially for keys after 13. Also, every 10 stages, you'll unlock flags, and I might as well flags and purple souls. But the flags are the most important thing, and I'm going to talk about flags now. So flags are required to awaken your heroes. And awaken is taking them from 6. So I told you use creation bag to go to 6-star, but what happens after 6-star? You want to go to 7-star, 8-star, and then 9-star, right? So to do that, you'll go to the awaken tab, and they'll have to reach a certain level. I think of just 140 actually, or 100. And then you have some requirements. So you'll notice you need 2 copies of the same hero. You'll need a random 9. If you want to know what I'm not going to go through all of the requirements. If you want to see them, I have it on a document. Join the Discord if you want to see it. And then these are the requirements. But one of the other requirements is flags and more yellow souls. So flags are introduced after you get to 6-star and higher. And so that's just another item or resource you have to collect. And the main source of them is through planet trials and idling, but mostly planet trials. Okay, so we went through everything in the castle. So let's go ahead and talk about the bag. You have a list of all your equipment that you get from idling. You have all your items. I went through what most of these do. Some of them are event specific, so if you're like, what in the world is that? I've never seen that. It's because I've been playing for a long time, so I have event specific items. Then you'll have shards, and I didn't really talk about shards too much, but shards are basically pieces of heroes. Once you get a certain amount where it says that slash number, then you can summon that hero. And these are random ones, random 4-star. These are random 5-star, but you'll see they have a faction specific. You get these by doing Miracle Eyes usually, and some other events and things like that. And then these are specific heroes that I have shards for. Also, there are artifact shards, and I'll talk about artifacts now. Artifacts, you can equip 1 per hero. There's a library, you can see all the artifacts. They're really good. They can also be leveled up by feeding other artifacts into them, and they give really good buffs for your heroes. Like, I'll go and show you. See how there's a tab if you go to equip. These are your equipment. There's the artifact, and now let's talk about runes. You have runes. Runes can be leveled up using rune dust, which I already mentioned you can get a lot of different ways. And they can also be converted to different, say you don't have a stat that you want and you want a different stat for your hero, you can convert using more rune dust and gold. This is very expensive. You need lots of rune dust, so whenever you can buy it, I suggest buying it. If you want a list of all the runes, we have that on a document on the Discord as well. Anything else about heroes? No. I will talk about runes a little bit more because the shop. So the shop refreshes once a day automatically, and it gives you the option to buy things with gems and with gold. You'll notice that there's a limit though. You can only buy 1 of these, and all of these will be the same except for this group right here. These 6 will be random every day, but everything else will stay the same every single day. It'll just see how it says sold out, it'll just come back and I'll be able to buy it again in the next day. So I went over Soul Shop, Luck Shop, and Feather Shop, Legion Shop, and Moonstones. It's not really a beginner thing, so I'm not going to go over that. That's definitely you find out later in the game. Let's talk about guilds. So guilds, I think you are able to join at level 21. Guilds offer a couple of different things. First off, and most importantly, well, you have your guild. I'll talk about this first. You have your guild. You can come here. You can see what rank your guild is based on the guild level. It'll tell you how much power total your guild has, how many members it has, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to create a guild, it costs gems, but you can also recruit in the chat. Here's the chat, by the way. I mean, that was self-explanatory. So let's talk about the mine. The mine is a way to get gold and guild coins, and all you have to do is just start digging. That's it. Like, there's no requirement or anything. You'll notice and it'll tell you how many hours it takes. It goes up to, like, I think there's a 24-hour mine, but it's totally random which one you get. So just come back in however many hours it takes to do it again. You'll notice that the guild mine can actually give more stuff if you upgrade it. It costs gold, and your guild, it reaches a max of level 8 right now. Your guild can all chip in together to try and increase this guild mine. Then there's the guild shop, which I showed you the coins that you get from the guild mine. You can then use to buy heroes and other things too. Then there's a looter, which is basically the guild boss. Every day you can hit the boss up to 4 times. The last 2 times will cost gems, 40 gems for the 3rd hit, 80 gems for the 4th hit. But depending on how you rank by hitting the boss, you'll notice it has a health bar. You will receive guild coins. So every battle, so you'll get 34, but Whoever gets the last hit on the guild boss is going to get 2200, and depending on what ranking you receive, you'll get another guild bonus. So you'll notice we get like 8000. That's a ton, but that's because we have a very high level boss. It scales up. So you can also see all the previous bosses and how you ranked. Then I'm gonna talk about guild tech. Guild tech is another way to spend your guild coins, and guild tech is very important. It's like one of the best ways to make your hero stronger, because guild tech, you'll notice, is stat bonuses, but it's not by faction, it's by class. So every hero has a class. There's warrior, assassin, wander, cleric, and mage, and each tree is a little bit different. You'll notice that warriors have an HP buff, and this is like a passive permanent buff that all your warriors will have if you level up the guild tech. If you switch guilds, you keep your guild tech. Also, guild tech is individual. It's not like everyone chips in for this. This is just for you specifically. I get that question asked a lot by new people. So like warriors have attack, crit rate, dodge, and skill damage. So this is really good to invest in. I always recommend people to invest in the guild tech more than the guild shop. Then we have Guild Wars, which you unlock later. It's another way to earn guild tech. You'll notice that you fight other guilds. Your top 15 players will fight them. You can set them up in an order. That's more of an advanced thing, so I'm not going to go over that. This is the Guild Island. Shows you all the other guilds. Alright, I know I missed some stuff, but I think that's most everything I wanted to talk about. The last thing, or achievements I should go over. So achievements are like ways to get gems and resources by doing achievements. Self-explanatory. There's also VIP, which is the more money you spend, the more benefits you get, of course. There's the skin options, which you can pay for with real money, or you can pay for with event resources. And I should have talked about events. Events are required to do to complete the daily, and there's 3 different types of events. You can do 2 of them every day. If you're a high VIP, you can actually purchase more with gems to do them again. It'll tell you what the rewards are. So I'm on the level 8 one. You almost always want to do the high, or you always want to do the highest one that you can. It's based on level. You'll unlock them as you level up your character level or your account level. Then you will get more events that you can do, or higher leveled ones. So you're going to get 400 for every gold one that you do, but there's a chance at like critical strikes, and you like get to get multiple copies of the reward, up to 4, I think. This is how you get purple and yellow, and this is how you get shards to make heroes. We talked about friends, quests, the mail. You can send people other messages. This is also how you receive rewards. Oh, familiar, last thing. Let's do familiar. I have a video specifically on familiars already, so if you want to go look at that. But familiars eventually you add to your team, and the familiar builds up energy the same way your heroes does. As your hero, well, not really, but as your heroes cast skills, then eventually your familiar can cast a skill. You can only use 1 familiar at a time in a battle, but as you level them up, you'll get familiar stats. These stats apply to all your heroes. It's very small, almost non-noticeable. But the familiar has different passives and an active skill just like a hero. Go check out my familiar video if you want more details on that. Always remember to link your email and your account, and go through the settings here. If you link it, then you can change your password. If you want to look at other servers, which is pretty important if you want to start a new account, go to the server tab, and you can like join a new server. You'll have to start completely over though. You can't take one account and move it to another. Well, now I think that's it. I've covered basically everything. I know I probably, like I said, I forgot some things. And this was a really long video. I know most people probably already know most of this stuff, but I wanted to cover everything. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm tired. That was long. But that's the basic of TapTap heroes. I think if you... Oh, I should mention one last thing. You have a character level. As you idle, you'll notice like you get purple, like I opened it, or not purple, blue experience. This experience is going to go to your character level, and as you increase your character level, you unlock new features. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.